hearts. Days seem longer as the nights grow cold. For love to last, it takes heart and soul. Now trouble with emotions, knowing what to say. Seconds turn to hours turn to days. Tears upon a pillow, when my heart's filled with pain. The love is starting over, it will never be the same. Now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Girl, you need to know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough. Heart and soul. Staring out the window as the rain turns to snow, like a rose in the water, has it left grow? Seasons always changing, you couldn't stand the test of time. Like a ram without a reason, made you change your mind. Now I'm alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Girl, you need to know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough. Heart and now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Girl, you need to know it's how you tore my world apart.
Hello, welcome back. It's Thursday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode with my co-host on Thursday nights, Victor Von Shroom, the Shroom-meister from the Victor Show. Don't forget, guys. Oh, hold on 1 second, Victor. I got to do the 500 spiel. Guess what? We're down to 17 to go for the Wheel of Death to give away 2 t-shirts, that large JJ Stoner Midget Wednesday shirt, child size, and a shirt from the Winning TV store on Teespring. So we got 17 left to go. All right, share it out. We get to 17. Victor Von Shroom, my co-pilot tonight. How's it going, Victor? Entertainment. You're not. There's a lot of entertainment today, I guess, at least, right? Yes. It's just unbelievable, non-stop stream of something happening every day. It's insane. I've never seen anything like this. Yeah, they're still let's see, what is it? December 10th. And oh, okay, hold on.
Because I got nothing hooked on right now. I'm still having something.
Can they hear? Can they? Kitty, let us know if you can hear Victor now. Should be able to.
Test, pee, pee, poo, poo.
Pee pee poo poo 2020. Or poo poo pee pee. Which one is it?
Give it a sec for Kitty to respond on whether they can hear me or not. Cause
She should be able to.
Can you hear me?
I forget. We're on that Streamlabs. Oh, should be able to hear you now.
Yeah, I'm audible. Kitty, I don't know what your issue is. I just checked the stream. I'm audible, so.
Okay.
Don't know
I thought
the
so.
mix-up is.
I switched to Streamlabs OBS, and I forget I have to turn on the other audio. Otherwise, the open has an echo problem. So I have to shut off one audio and then turn it back on. I always forget to turn it back on. I don't know why it does that. I can't get it to stop doing that, but just used to XSplit where I didn't have to do that. Didn't have to worry about any of that. So, but XSplit, if you want all the features, they want you to pay for it. So I'm not going to do that. When I can get the features for free on Streamlabs.
Well, yeah, but the main problem with OBS is you can't have dedicated channels, which is really annoying.
Yes, it is. There's too many.
That's been bugging me for ever since I've been using it.
Let me check your audios. I think they should hear you now, Victor.
When I checked the stream, I came in quite clear.
Let me amp up.
I don't come in booming, but.
How about now? You should be able to come in a little louder now. I turned it up. All right. I'll give you a second to hear it and catch up.
I can check my Zoom settings because maybe Zoom is having fun with the whole mic thing.
So the latest news. Which news? Which news would you like to talk about? I mean, my God, it's everywhere. It's nonstop. It's insane.
Oh no, the mic is on max, so I don't know what it is.
It's up higher on my end. I increased the levels, so they should be able to hear you fine now. All right, so what do we talk about first? You know, there's only a little bit, a couple things to talk about here. I thought the most interesting thing of the day was the Chinese spy, the spy who shagged me.
And I love how they're like, oh, we're going to investigate the guy who pointed that out. And I'm like, oh, everyone was pointing that out.
They're going to investigate the guy who pointed out the spy that was, fooling around with Eric Swalwell.
Well, that's the thing. There wasn't one guy that pointed out he was having romantic relationships with the lady. He has his, because if they're gonna arrest the guy, they're gonna have to arrest the poor guy who's actually sleeping with the Chinese agent, since he's been putting that on Facebook and whatnot.
My understanding is that there's more than one that was sleeping with her. The biggest one
Oh
is...
yeah, that's how spies work. They pass along.
Well, the biggest one was the gentleman from Congress that happens to be on the Intelligence Committee. Isn't that something special?
Oh yeah, but she screwed her way to the top like most women do, so... At least in politics.
Just unbelievable. And this is the same guy that was on MSNBC and CNN every single night talking about the Trump family and Russia. That's just, I find it amazing. People have no shame. As he's porking a Chinese spy. You can't make this up.
Well,
Hey,
that's
babe.
how they got the information, I believe.
Hey, baby. I'm on the Intelligence Committee. It's just funny. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I can't get a straight story out there. Is he off the Intelligence Committee? Is he on the Intelligence Committee? Nobody seems to be able to get a straight story on this.
Well, even if he's off, he still has access. We've seen that with a lovely lady over in Florida who's been out for 6 months and still managed to use the emergency system to broadcast COVID numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the problem. When somebody leaves office, they never lose their security clearance. Like, I still think to this day John Brennan has not lost his security clearance. James Clapper, all of these people that are no longer in government still maintained their security clearance, at least for years after they were gone.
Well, in that regard, you gotta wonder if Mr. Snowden still has access, since they can't be bothered to kick people out.
Yes. I mean, any business... I worked for a large financial institution, and the second somebody left, I mean, they weren't even out the door, and all of their access was gone. Within a split second, it was gone. The second they handed in their ID badge and resigned or quit or were fired, it was over. Their security clearance, everything was gone. But in the government, 2 years later, you can still access highly sensitive documents. What the
Yeah, but if you have worked with any form of governmental programs, you know how hard it is to put someone in the system, let alone take someone out the system?
I know, it's such a chore, isn't it? It's just too much work.
Seriously. You're gonna have to, because everything is not centralized, it's hooked up basically with duct tape and garage wire when it comes to governmental systems, because why invest in an infrastructure? And so, let's say you're a mid-level security officer. You're gonna get more access than you're supposed to, because otherwise you can't reach the things you're supposed to.
Exactly. But it just boggles your mind. Somebody with highly sensitive intelligence access that no longer is in government, are they not susceptible to being hooked up with a Chinese spy like people in the government right now?
Well, aside from Chinese spies, how would you call insider trading being a problem? Because you're outside of the government, you're suddenly allowed to invest in stuff.
Yes, that's how explains how they get filthy rich. On top of everything, because it's nice to have access to the next war so that you can buy the right stocks, right?
For the next war, when certain medicine or gets FDA approved, or when, let's say, with current day politics, if Facebook decides to relaunch WhatsApp with a new code of advertiser-friendly stuff, and then suddenly the government decides we're going to split up Facebook. So that stock would rise up and plummet.
Oh, I had a picture on the screen from James Wood, the Eric Swalwell, the spy who shagged me. It's got this girl. How in the world this happens? That a Chinese spy can get that close to somebody on the Intelligence Committee of Congress just boggles your mind.
Not really, considering how during the Cold War how easy the Russians had it when it came to spying. It was quite absurd how intricate the Russian spy operation went.
But I'm really glad that they're arresting people for not wearing a mask. That's really important, right? you know, people are dying. You would think that a Chinese spy having access to highly sensitive documents would be more of a threat than a virus, but that's just me.
Well, if a Chinese spy would be a threat, then Hunter Biden's laptop would be a threat. The list goes on. I mean, Hillary's emails, Bill Clinton's foreign connections during the whole Russia affair during his administration, the Cheney connections with South America during those hot takes.
Oh, and I just caught this one today. For 4 years, the FBI has had access or held on to, excuse me, Seth Rich's laptop. Isn't that something to just find out? For 4 years, we were told that the Russians hacked the DNC server, right? And for 4 years, people argued that Seth Rich handed over the information to WikiLeaks. And for 4 years, the FBI has had Seth Rich's laptop. So,
well, yeah, but the whole thing with the FBI is they are no longer agents; they're lawyers. So all they'll do is sit on evidence and use it when they see fit. That's what lawyers do. They don't show the evidence until a trial happens.
well, they're using it for their cause, or what they. I think it's for what they believe.
For financial and political clout. That's where they're using it for.
Exactly. And during the last 4 years, that seemed to not work with Donald Trump, so that's why this stuff is hidden. I mean, for God's sakes, you had the laptop of the man who everybody claimed handed over the DNC information to WikiLeaks, and he didn't say anything? Like, obviously they know, right?
Yeah, but that's the whole problem with these things. Considering Trump in his first administration, where everyone was lambasting Trump about him cleaning out his own cabinet, that was mainly so he couldn't get blackmailed. Because every time they were like, "Hey, do you know this guy in your cabinet? We're gonna need some favors." Trump fired that person.
Yeah.
He's like, "What favors?"
Yep. It's just amazing because I said this before about the FBI, and people get upset with me, but the FBI is useless. It's as a herpes pimple on Hunter Biden's ass, because they don't do anything unless they will benefit from it at this point. It's been that way for a while. You mentioned off a list, they had the Wiener laptop, they apparently had Seth Rich's laptop, Hunter Biden's laptop, Hillary's emails, they had it all. And all of these people should have been in jail, or at least at trial by now, but they're not.
Well, we can for certain tell this shift happened during Bush Sr.'s administration, and it became a huge thing after Bill Clinton deregulation set up. Because then corporatism got their hands on the government, and it became lucrative to keep secrets.
Well, I think it might have started during the second term of Reagan when Bush was around, and I think Ronald Reagan
when
had
Bush
some
Sr.
problems.
Bush Sr. Dropped from the FBI or CIA and went into the Reagan administration, and from there on out, shit got fucked up.
Yeah, yep. It got messed up on purpose, too.
Well, yeah, but it's all by design, but it's mainly to enrich people. Because power is fun, but money makes power.
I see Rational Times out there. We are living in irrational times. Nothing makes sense.
Irrational times are coming.
Yes.
We're still in reconstructive times. Let's keep it at that. Or testing model times.
Yes, because I just heard, and on Tuesday night, or Tuesday during the day, I heard an ad come out from a major bank talking about how they are investing for equality and financial justice or something. It was an ad on the radio in minority communities, right? During this pandemic, when a third of New York's businesses are gone, they're investing in minority communities. And I said, that sounds awfully a lot like what Mr. Schwab or whatever his name is from the Great Reset. I said, that sounds a lot like it. And then I see an article yesterday that Bank of America has teamed up with the Vatican and the IMF for the Great Reset.
Yeah. Well, for the Great Reset, the thing is, Malcolm X talked about this. And the sad bit is, they killed him and propped up Martin Luther King. And people may claim Martin Luther King was a great man and all that, but let's be honest, he was a whoremonger and he was in bed with the Democrats. Where Malcolm X was in favor of black ownership. They needed to own their stuff. And he already warned them, white men, when the whole
brothers and sisters
liberation.
Sorry about that. Video started playing.
Oh, well, this was due to the whole black rights thing during the 60s, where during segregation, black people owned stuff. After segregation, especially during the 80s, black people lost their businesses in a landslide, because banks started buying them up. Credit card companies started defunding them, and of course they flooded the streets with crack and heroin.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're gonna go for the blacks again. They're gonna own them like they did during the slave trade. The only difference is you're now financially a slave.
Exactly.
Because you don't have the money. You can only pay up the interest.
Yep.
So they're gonna prop up all these lovely black shops, and then
he's white.
5 years down the line, they're gonna hit those shops hard, to the point where basically all black people who will be in service of any financial institution or any program or whatnot, or social program that they have engineered, the black people will no longer have the right to do anything without their say-so. Otherwise, they're out of a job.
Boogie Bumper out in the audience there. Thank you for the diamond, Boogie Bumper. Do, looking out my back door. Don't forget about Friday nights. And I'm sure Victor's going to be there. I'm going to be there, as well as other people, probably IT, JJ Stoner, Major Tom, bunch of streamers will be on Boogie's show tomorrow night for the birthday bash.
Oh yeah, and if Buddy checked Twitter, I got a surprise for him. I hope he likes it though.
I found one too. I found a video to play. So at
Uh,
least one.
a certain someone came through for me, thankfully.
Oh boy, this should be interesting. It should be a fun time. So, expanding on what you said, Victor, the irony of everything is, and I talked about this Tuesday night, was that they are creating a racist rift in this country, the media, the politicians, and with this great reset, I mean, it's just expanding it. So the very people that are trying to force you to hire a a person because of their skin color or their sex is creating this large racist gap in America, which wasn't actually that bad back in the 80s.
No, but that's the entire thing. They're gonna constitute pretty much the whole Roman Empire all over again, where the poor is gonna squabble over each other, and
Mhm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're gonna build a Colosseum for the rich to entertain. You know?
It wouldn't surprise me at this point. Nothing surprises me with these people because, you know, I have no problem with. I don't even care about a person's skin color or what sex they are or who they're banging in their bedroom. When I went to hire people, and I used to have 30 people working for me, when I went to hire somebody, it was based on their qualifications and skill, but apparently you can't do that anymore. It's got to be based on...
Yeah. It's no longer a meritocracy. It's
No.
now the list goes by this: what's your religion? What is your ethnicity? What is your gender? And all the way on the bottom is the white cis male.
Yes. Yep. And what's that doing? That's creating a giant racist divide in the country.
Well, it's not just a racist divide. What do you end up generating is people who will toe the line because they're inept in their job.
Mm-hmm.
So any boss will come to you and simply state to you, we only hired you because you have this skin color, you have this religion, you have this gender. If we don't need you, we can find someone else. And as big as unions are an issue in America, for instance, which we discussed on Saturday, the same can be said about the whole preference profiling during the job interview. And that's the scariest fact. And when Boogie comes from, oh, it's just a right-wing conspiracy, the whole reset, I gotta say, have you seen Trump at the World Trade Forum? Because he's been there. And like I said, the whole, we're gonna blow up one party, so one party and the other party will rule all. Whether you're gonna get Biden or Trump, it's gonna become very scary. Because there's no one going to be telling them no anymore.
Exactly. So Trump gets you out of the Great Reset, for instance, but you've got a problem now. You've got one party ruling everything in America, and that's not a good idea either. Because nothing good ever comes from one party rule. That's why, and I talked about this before, the anti-federalists wanted to have so many congressmen in Congress that they couldn't pass anything on the federal level. They wanted there to be, at this point, with 50 states and the amount of people we have, they envisioned 4,500 congressmen. What the hell are we going to get passed when you got to have a majority? Probably nothing, right?
Oh no, it's basically going to be, we're going to do this, and there's no one able to tell you no. And if you protest, well, guess what? We already have the system put in place where you're working for the government. You're no longer an independent employee, so guess what? If you're going to protest, we're going to cut your funding. See how you're going to live when you starve. And when it comes to the whole facial expression programs, Boogie. No offense, but that stuff is as old as 1982, I think. 81 or 82.
Are you calling Boogie a boomer?
No. I'm just saying. People always go, "Oh, what happens in sci-fi movies is decades, centuries ahead of its time." No, it isn't. The cell phone, when they say Star Trek invented the cell phone, in the 60s we already had cell phones. They were called walkie-talkies. They had their own frequency. You could dial in with them. The difference was it was not available to the public, and there was no network. That's the only difference.
That's true, because you had walkie-talkies in World War II, right? That was well before Star Trek. Before that even.
Well, yeah, but during the 50s and 60s, they started with frequency scrambling, so you had to call in to certain frequencies in order to talk with one another, so companies wouldn't be able to shout orders. Because that was very important during the Korean War and the Vietnam War. Because they found that out during the Korean War when people were like, retreat, and other one was ordering, attack, and the companies didn't know what they were going to do, and then artillery strikes hit.
Oh, we are... I don't know what's going on with this whole Chinese spy thing, because apparently none of the media spent any time on it. But Nancy Pelosi did have... I got a video here of Nancy Pelosi. She did have something to say about it today. Apparently she received a question regarding Eric Swalwell and his ties to a Chinese spy and getting a little Fang Tang.
Was over. That was the end of any communication with those people. So it isn't, I think we should make sure that everybody knows what they are being subjected to. But I don't know that it means that we have to background checks for every intern who comes into the Capitol. I do think...
So they don't do background checks on interns that are working in the Capitol with, say, the Intelligence Committee?
Well, no. Why would you do background checks? Because half of the interns are prostitutes. that would give a wrong vision.
Yeah. Why do background checks? I mean, what the hell? You know, let's just get some interns in some credit card companies and at the DMV and let them have access to the information. God, background check. What the hell do we do that for?
That it's unfortunate that Mr. McCarthy is trying to make an issue of this when his leader, we all found out at the same time, the Republican leadership, and that several members had been approached.
Were you briefed on this?
We were all at the same moment. The House, Republican and Democratic leaders, and the leadership of the committee were briefed at the same moment. Make sure you know that, because he keeps going around saying, when did they know? We knew when they knew. And at that time, that was the end of it. But you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to deflect attention from the fact that he has QAnon.
I love this. This woman is she is the best at this. We had a Chinese spy sleeping with one of our team on the Intelligence Committee, but they're just deflecting away from this.
Oh, that's the whole thing. I'm kind of disappointed that she didn't wish us a good Sunday morning, but I kind of want to keep. Well, let's be honest. Who doesn't want to be wished a Sunday morning? But she's now deflecting. Oh, they have QAnon, so we have this. I'm like, great, keep it up. Have the other side tell them. Well, they have power and energy people in their internships, and they have credit card companies in their internships. Let them blow up the whole story so we know everything they're doing. Because that would be great, right? If they kept on deflecting.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem here. Come on, Republicans, stop deflecting away from your QAnon. Nothing to worry about with a Chinese spy as an intern who's porking one of my Democrat leaders. I'm not worried about that, right? Just let's focus on QAnon. Oh, these people are hilarious. And by the way, full disclosure, I don't follow QAnon, and a lot of the stuff that's said I have a problem with, so there you go.
My only problem with the whole QAnon bit is it's like anonymous, like, we have the answers. I'm like, great, give them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if we don't have them, we can't react, dummy.
Well, you got to go find the answers. But the problem with the whole thing is you've got people out there finding the answers that are probably 9 miles off, and it's starting to create a few people that are a little teetering on the edge, shall we say?
Yeah, but this isn't some Chuck E. Cheese restaurant, for crying out loud. This is important stuff.
Right, this is people's lives, right? I mean, no other way to put it.
And that's my main problem with the whole QAnon bit, because I'm not sure if I haven't looked into it, but I'm most definitely now certain they get the whole slew of cryptocurrency donations and whatnot to keep the whole thing going. So whether it's an inside plant or not, it's a huge scam for people who follow it. And unless QAnon actually gives something credible for us to do it, what's the use?
Yeah. Well, too many people are... This is my opinion, and Doc Martin likes it and follows it, and there's a lot of people that follow it that I'm friends with, and that's fine, you want to do that, but it's kept a lot of people on the sidelines, worried about what the next post is, and then, like I said, it's created a few monsters out there. I talked about it on Tuesday about the Santa Claus thing, where the left-wing Santa Claus said, no, you can't have a gun. Santa doesn't bring you guns, right? Well, that's bad enough, right? You got people doing that. And then you got the people commenting below that saying, good, get rid of Santa Claus. It's a pagan holiday soaked in the blood of children. And I'm like, whoa! What the hell? Can't we just...
Hold on. Let's make something quite clear for the American audience.
Mm-hmm.
Santa Claus is not a pagan holiday. It's a corporate holiday owned by Coca-Cola. Do your research, damn it.
Yeah, but you see my point. You got people on the far right going, get rid of Santa Claus. It's a pagan holiday, they eat babies and all this. I was like reading a post. I'm like, people are nuts, You're just as bad as the Santa Claus saying, no, Santa Claus doesn't bring guns. No, he said it like this, Santa Claus doesn't bring guns,
But one thing on the whole Q thing, which is the biggest travesty Q has been causing, is basically trust the plan. So we're not going to do anything. They're going to take our rights away. Trust the plan. You're going to get mandatory vaccinated. Trust the plan. You're going to lose your president. Trust the plan. Sorry, but at what point do we enact on the plan?
Exactly. That's why I kind of rail on the people who post out there, something big's coming. I said if I have a penny for every time somebody said something big's about to drop in the last 4 years, I wouldn't need to work anymore. Because I've seen those posts every day. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, but let's be honest, a fortune teller or a fortune cookie is more accurate.
As long as a Chinese fortune cookie. Boogie Bumper, how long until we have articles saying Santa Claus was black? That's true. I'm surprised that hasn't happened.
No, Boogie, those articles already exist. They are even before Obama came to office. Even during the Clinton campaign, it was. women should be able to dress as Santa. Black people should be able to dress as Santa. Why can't we have a black Santa? Why we can't have a female Santa? Because that's not the Lord, that's not a tradition, period. That's how I see it.
Back to Monica's.
If you want to create a nude.
Back to Monica's comment. How racist, Phil? Background checks? Oh, that's right. She was Chinese. You can't do that. That's xenophobic.
Yeah, but let's be honest. The white trash hookers, they have as interns. They don't check those either. So let's keep racist aside.
Do they make them go through an STD check? Maybe.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a casting couch.
A casting couch. Oh no. They probably do. She was the best out of the lot.
Let's be honest, with Jeffrey Epstein and the whole covert slave trade that's going on in America, I wouldn't be surprised if they cherry-picked her, basically by checking on child services and whatnot.
Come on, Eric. Me love you long time. We love you long time. Oh, that, the sad part is the people are never going to hear about this outside of Twitter and a few articles here and there. I think Fox spent about a minute on it. ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, 0 minutes spent on a Chinese spy.
Tucker Carlson is going to cover it, but he's going to wait for all the news media to make it seem all right. And then he's going to cover it and ask, really, this is all right? Because Tucker Carlson these days has it easy. He just has to wait 3 days for the media to shoot themselves in the foot, for a politician to shoot themselves in the foot, and then have an article.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, they're doing a good job of it already because they're basically covering it up as nothing to see here, nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
They're not even disproving it or discounting it. They're even acknowledging it.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
It's a rampant problem.
Yeah.
We have this entire backyard fire going. It's gonna burn the neighbor's house down. But it's fine. We've been doing this all for decades.
Yeah, what are you worried about? Come on. Happens all the time. It's not a big deal. It's like getting a parking ticket. Oh, I got, and I don't know if you watched Boogie Show last night, but I got an update on this. Remember Cynthia Johnson from Michigan? She's doubling.
Boogie Show yesterday, so
she's doubling down. You probably saw the video where she said to go after.
Doubling down hard.
Oh yes. So here's the video. She's back for more.
Soldiers of all you soldiers of Christ. Soldiers against racism. Soldiers against misogyny.
So if you call them soldiers of Christ now, that's more acceptable, right?
No, that's not acceptable, because we have the Muslim community, we have the Jewish community. They're going to be scary.
Ah, yes, good point. She's scaring Muslim people and Buddhists, right? Now, I'm part Asian. I might be part Buddhist.
It's only the Holy Trinity of religions.
Almighty Toba. Buddha forgives you, Victor. She's you can't do this either. This is just as bad, right? As calling on soldiers to go after Trump supporters, if not worse.
Well, I'm gonna give you something fun, because I already said the whole Black Lives Matter and Antifa crew, they're DNC militias, and people called Republican militias scary people. That's why we had Waco, Ruby Ridge, and whatnot. But what is the ATF going to do about these militias?
Yes.
Because remember, we gave the ATF tanks and all that kind of crap.
Yep.
And we haven't heard anything about the ATF for pretty much since Bush came to power.
So, I'm trying to figure out where she's going with this, but maybe we should listen to some more. So she throws in racist, fascism, whatever. That still equates to Antifa, right? But she just threw Christ in front of soldiers this time. Makes it all better. Let's see what she's got to say.
Soldiers against domestic violence and...
Huh? What were you going to say, Victor?
Well, the whole thing is the Black Lives Matter community is predominantly Muslim. So that's not going to flow well with her crowd. Let's keep it at that. And soldiers against domestic violence, aside from the cops, they got the highest ratings.
Domestic terrorism. Soldiers, rise! It's time for you to rise. Soldiers! Soldiers for Christ. Soldiers against racism. Soldiers against misogyny. Soldiers for black and brown people who are being mistreated.
So,
Can you pause it quick? Because
I got it.
They elected a pimp to run their autonomous zone. Soldiers against misogyny when you elect a pimp as a sheriff?
And the fact that white people are never mistreated, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, because on those streams, when you watch her soldiers out there doing the Lord's work, I see a lot of white, dare I say it, white people having their heads cracked open.
Well, but aside from the white people, why are her soldiers burning down black businesses?
Good point.
Isn't that kind of counterproductive? We're supposed to help the black people.
There's got to be a reason for it. They're looting black businesses too, wiping them out. So maybe it's to get back at the bankers who finance those businesses because they're, white.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole thing. And as Boogie says so eloquently, she's not threatening anyone. She's being a caring citizen and warning you for impending danger. She's Pauline Revere.
She's Pauline Revere. She's helping to keep us safe.
Thank you for keeping me safe.
Oh, no. This woman has doubled down on crazy. They've already...
I'd love to see her Muslim brothers to show up at her lawn, though.
Yeah, because you made a very good point. She's ignoring the Muslims. It's actually, we did this Tuesday. Putting up Christmas lights may offend your, Muslim or Jewish neighbor or Buddhist neighbor. And you shouldn't put your Christmas lights up. You should take them down. But saying this, Soldiers for Christ, that's even worse than putting up Christmas lights. Should she not get a letter and be boycotted? She's not being very woke.
She's not very bright. Because she, like I said, that's the entire problem. Because she's old enough for crying out loud to know that the whole Black Panther movement was a Muslim organization. The Black Panther movement went back to the roots, to Africa, and became Muslims. You're telling those people they don't belong. Good job.
Oh, boy. Also, during Nancy Pelosi's press conference, I kind of skipped over this piece. There was also a piece of COVID added in, and the irony, I hope you catch this part of irony. They're talking about Swellswell, and it's a distraction from, everything else the Republicans are doing. There's nothing to see here with Swellswell. Well, MSNBC had some commentary on that, so let's pull that up. Here he is.
I DM'd you a topic on Twitter that fits quite well after this.
Okay.
If you want to have a laugh.
This is MSNBC.
In pain right now. Look at that woman's face. Listen to her. There are millions of people she speaks for. And we're having these technocratic conversations about committees and this and that. And I understand.
Technocratic conversations about committees. Nancy Pelosi has a lot of pain in her face when she's talking about the fate of the American people. Anything, buddy, notice anything on the wall behind this guy? Looks like
a
a
Chinese dragon from the restaurant where he's hitching his Wi-Fi from. Is no concern to be for you, especially the helmet that's to the right of him, or to the left of him. All right.
Oh, Boogie Bumper, I feel like this guy should be selling some cologne.
And I mean, the real blame here is Mitch McConnell, is the Republicans, is the president, is a party that does not want to help people, that is working on one side to actually make sure the pandemic kills as many people as possible. That seems...
Whoa. So the president is working hard to make sure the pandemic kills as many people as possible. Yes, Mitch, can you hold up that relief package? I want to make sure that we get up to maybe 500,000 dead Americans before we do something. I seem to recall Trump asking for a clean bill to give Americans checks, and Nancy Pelosi flat out told him no. Am I wrong?
Well, here's the thing. For an Indian dude, he seems to forget how systemic poverty works. As that ramps up quite the death toll.
So the Republicans are out going, trying to kill as many people as they can. They're doing a lousy job at it, if you ask me, because it's been about a year of this thing, and nice Chinese dragon behind you, bud.
Seems to be the logical consequence of their policy, and then to make sure that all the people who manage to survive it, despite their policy, suffer economically and beyond. But it is also the case that Democrats are not meeting this moment with the muscularity required, even the rhetorical muscle required. Why aren't we hearing thundering speeches from Joe Biden, from Pelosi, from Schumer, making this case in a way that bends public opinion, forces Republicans?
What a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
You're not going to get a thundering speech out of Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, or Chuck Schumer. That's just a fact.
He's naming people who are not able to give a thundering speech without being propped up by medication.
Exactly. I mean, you had Nadler out there crap his pants on stage giving a speech. I mean, Nancy after him. Her teeth are falling out as she's trying to speak. She can't remember what she's saying. Joe, forget it. I mean, he'll start out giving a thundering speech for about a minute and then go off into the weeds somewhere and nobody will know what the hell he's talking about. Oh, I see.
The only thing I'm waiting for at the end of his show, the wall to fall back, and you see Tiananmen Square. To be honest,
Couple Chinese guards there with some AKs standing behind them.
yeah, who are scrambling to put back up the wall.
Of all things, you're gonna do your show from I don't know, it looks like a Chinese restaurant with a Chinese dragon.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't own his own internet subscription, or he's limited on his bandwidth, so he's basically hitching on the Wi-Fi of the Chinese restaurant, and he sees no problem in his optics in that regard.
Boogie Bumpers, see how they try to present their shows like a YouTube live stream. They do. But they haven't caught up to people like Boogie and others.
Oh no, they left YouTube, so it's hard to it's hard to mimic Alex Jones when you no longer have access to Alex Jones.
Now his production quality on any stream he does is pretty damn good, Alex Jones. I shouldn't say that word on D-Live. We'll get kicked off.
Well, no, we can talk about his production. We just can't talk about his views and whether we agree with it or not. So that's the only thing.
All right, Anand, what do you have to say now?
Republicans into a corner. This is not about Medicare for all right now. We're not talking about sweeping social policy. This is not about, do we reduce our footprint of empire around the world. This is emergency relief in the worst crisis since...
Wait. Reduce our footprint of empire around the world. So when Trump was calling for troops to come back, who had a problem with that? I believe Pelosi, Schumer, Biden. Biden said he's sending troops to the Middle East.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Every time Trump says something, they'll lambaste him for 6 months and then praise the Democrats for doing it. That's their entire narrative. The Republicans are bad for 6 months, and then, look, our one Democrat who voted yes, look at him, how good he is. Let's ignore all the Republicans that instigated it.
So this guy has no clue what Biden's Middle East policy is, because I know what it is. We're going back full bore into Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq, among other countries. Wow.
Since the Great Depression. And we're having this little Washington committee talk instead of talk of muscularly dealing with
I don't think this guy can do anything muscular. Just saying.
The restoration of some balance in people's lives, some stability, food on people's tables. And you have word coming out yesterday or today that in Joe Biden's meeting with civil rights leaders this week, he was skeptical of the claims people make about his executive authority. He is not as comfortable wielding that executive authority as others are comfortable with him wielding. This is not a time for milquetoast. Watch that woman again. Watch that woman again. Watch millions like her. This is a time for dramatic, sweeping action.
Let people open back up.
Hold on. What executive order from Biden? He's not president yet.
That's right. Well, he's talking about...
He can't do jack shit.
He's talking about when he's in on day one, an executive order on masks, and they're exploring other executive orders for day one.
Well, yeah, they're testing the waters to see the public's reaction to his executive orders.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing. And if people don't like it, well, they're gonna play scapegoat and have some Democrat come with it, and Joe signs off on it, and they'll just say, Joe made a boo-boo.
Yeah. Hey, Doc Martin in the chat. Exactly, Victor. You know, they're gonna. Well, here's the thing. I don't think Joe's gonna be in for very long anyway. If he does indeed become president, I don't think he's gonna be in for very long because you sent me something. I'm gonna grab that first, but
Well,
we can.
currently I got a €150 bet saying Biden is gonna croak before New Year's.
Oh, really? You think so? Now,
I've seen him the last couple of times. They've been weaning him off the mats. He's not doing well.
no, he's
And
not.
the thing is, I guarantee you, before Christmas, they're gonna prop him up on the mats again for a huge Christmas statement. And after that, I don't see him returning.
Yeah, I agree with that because if he doesn't drop dead, they've already got it lined up to remove him because today we find out that apparently James Biden and Hunter Biden have been under investigation by the FBI, which tells me they are getting ready to get rid of Joe fairly quickly here.
How are they gonna prop up Kamala, though?
I think she was picked all along. I think Joe was
Yeah, but
told to pick her.
How are they gonna prop her up? There is now legislation for a would-be president, vice president to take office. So
You're right. That's never happened in our history. We've never had a presidential candidate die before they were sworn into office, right?
well, if not die, be lambasted to the point where he either has to be in prison or is besmirched so to the point where he's no longer a valid candidate. You can't prop her up due to him. That's the entire problem. She's going to be tainted one way or another. So you can't prop her up because either the whole Hunter Biden thing pops up, and so the whole Biden thing is corrupt. So she's automatically seen as corrupt as well. Or Biden doesn't make it for inauguration, which means no one voted for her.
So they let Biden get inaugurated, then they remove him, and because this woman doesn't care how she gets it.
No. All she wants is that's the whole problem. She wants the title. That's all she cares about.
Yep, she wants it. And here's the thing with her. She will do as many executive orders as she possibly can. As long as her hand doesn't cramp up, she will write them and write them and write them. Because she doesn't care. She's just going to do it. Nobody's going to stop her because I said this the other day on Saturday night, and I when you were on, I said to Rusty, the Supreme Court of Michigan told the governor she exceeded her authority. Who's stopping her? Nobody. The same thing in New York. Nobody's stopping Cuomo from arresting people at church. Even though the Supreme Court of the United States said he couldn't do it. He's still doing it. So you can complain and go to the Supreme Court about her executive orders all you want. Who's going to stop her?
Well, the saddest bit about the whole Kamala thing is, what if Joe gets into a coma? Because then she would be acting president. She would never become president. Can you still veto if you're acting president?
She would be acting president until they use the 25th Amendment.
Because that's my point with that is, if you're acting president, you don't have veto power.
Mm-hmm.
So then they're stuck. You know.
But she can still write those executive orders, and who's going to stop her?
Well, that's the thing. If the whole House and Senate goes lopsided, as I expect it to be, and Biden is pretty much going to be in a coma for the next 4 years, she's going to be acting president. She can write executive orders, but the whole problem is she's not the president, and everyone is going to hold her that to her. And they can't pull the plug on Joe because that's bad optics.
Yeah.
It would be a lovely quagmire for them.
Kitty B in the chat. Nancy has been dreaming about the presidency since she was getting her cheeks busted by JFK. Oh, I got your video queued up here, Victor. Let me give you some context to the audience here. My 12-year-old son is home by himself right now, and there are protesters banging outside the door.
Yeah,
Anti-maskers. Oh, go ahead, Victor.
Let me give proper context. This is a committee that's voting via Zoom calls. They did this in the city office first. Then they left because all the protesters were at the city office. Then they found out all the protesters were at their home. It's amazing how absurd their reactions are.
And this is in Idaho.
Yes. And play it to the fullest because that's the most fun bit.
Can I interrupt you for just a moment? My 12-year-old son is home by himself right now, and there are protesters banging outside the door. Okay, I'm going to go home and make sure he's okay, so I will reconnect with you when I get there.
Remember when protesting didn't work?
Madam Chair, Dr. Peterman, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I got a call from the mayor, and it sounds like the police, and she is requesting that we stop the meeting at this time because of the intense level of protesters in the parking lot and a concern for police safety and staff safety.
Wait a minute now. This is where I have a problem with this. Because where was the concern for police safety and public safety and anyone's safety during the BLM and Antifa riots that have gone on endlessly?
Yeah, but look at the protesters. All they do is stand outside.
Exactly. That's the point.
People say protesting doesn't work. This Zoom call, people start dropping like flies from that Zoom call.
Now, I'm going to remember where we were here. 55 seconds. I'm going to go back to where you can see the crowd. They're just standing there. They aren't throwing things. They aren't lighting things on fire. They aren't burning or looting.
They do burn masks later in the video. But it's a tin can where they have a little fire where they put the masks in.
So they were conscious enough to put the masks in a tin can as not to start anything else on fire.
Exactly. And this was a protest against the mask mandate of having to wear the mask all the time. You were no longer to have friends over in your own house. Christmas was cancelled. All that kind of stuff.
The protesters that are at some of our board members' homes right now.
Look, they are.
This is the thing. This protest group was strategical smart. They weren't just at the city hall. They were at their homes. They were everywhere. So there was no escaping the protest.
See, this is the way you do a protest. You don't show up with a bunch of ridiculous signs that make you look crazy. You know, talking about whatever, 5G or you know, people dressed up like lunatics. This is how you do it. And they apparently, so far, from what we're seeing, they've gotten results, right?
Well, yeah, the whole meeting got cancelled. So they're gonna try the meeting some other time. And they'll probably won't announce when they'll do the meeting.
Well, they'll do it in the middle of the night like they do in New York.
They're gonna do it quietly.
Yep.
But that's saying something about the government and not about the protest.
They are putting the masks in a tin can to burn.
You see people saying that if you don't wear a mask, you're going to die. That is not science. That has never been proven. It is not true.
Welcome to the people. This is the first time ever out at a rally of any kind. Donald Trump isn't here, but this is the next best thing.
And these large crowds were at every person's home, so...
They flashed strobe lights and banged garbage cans at least one of the houses. Did they break their windows and try to set it on fire and throw fireworks at it?
They were just banging cans and using flashing strobe lights. That's it.
Just an update. I just went out and talked with BPD. There's been one person detained, but they indicated that they have the situation under control.
It is not under control at my house, and it's not under control at Diana's house.
Yes, these people are out of control, right?
they were gonna pass a mask mandate, and I believe it said even in your home.
Yes, in your home, and you wouldn't be allowed to have people outside of your family into your home.
Oh, no, yeah,
They were going to cancel Christmas. That's why people came out in droves.
You know what?
The man on the speaker said it had nothing to do with Trump. We're here for this cause.
And I give the protesters kudos because they did it the right way. They didn't physically attack people. They didn't do it like BLM and Antifa does.
They didn't even scream obscenities.
Yep.
They just stood outside banging cans.
Now, I said this on Saturday night, and I forgot to ask if you agree, but if you want to get small businesses back open, we need this at Walmart, the big box stores. You need to start... These people are struggling badly. Especially where I am in New York.
Well, what I don't
it's getting ugly.
Your small business is struggling.
Yep.
How about everyone parks their vehicle in front of the entrances of the big companies?
Right.
And goes to the small businesses.
And if you're
going to
go...
you got your car illegally parked, that's fine. There are 10 rows of cars, so it's going to take a while before you even get to tow those particular cars out of the way, you know?
I mean, people should be blocking the entrance of the big box stores peacefully, right? Like these people did, with just a lot of people with regular signs that say, go to a small
Christmas
business.
Carols.
Yeah.
Sing Christmas carols, sing Kumbaya, but don't do anything else beyond that.
Now, I see people on Twitter, and they're calling for Trump rallies. Rather than that, do these rallies instead, because the small business owners are getting their asses kicked right now. And the only way to stop it is for a lot of people to stand up and say, if you're going to allow Walmart to be open, and Best Buy, and Staples, you're going to allow these small businesses to open back up. And if you don't, we're going to show up every day.
Yeah, but I might not be allowed to say, but if you know a couple of illegal Mexicans or other illegals in your neighborhood, pay them a good sum of money, give them a Christmas turkey, everything, and have them basically steal the tires off Amazon trucks. Because that's how you get shit done. If they can't deliver, everyone will jump to the small businesses.
Well, you go and block the entrances at least, of the
Well,
distribution
you can block
center.
the entrances, but how are you going to block the Amazon delivery bus? You're going to have to take out the tires. And no
Yep.
offense, but chop shop owners know exactly how quick they can do it. They have entire crews. Pay those people.
So I guess
give them a Christmas feast.
my point is, instead of calling for Trump rallies, call for these rallies everywhere and force these people to allow people to open back up. It's the only way you're going to stop them. These politicians, right? I mean, they aren't listening to anybody.
Also block off big corporations.
Yep.
If you can block off an Amazon warehouse, you're doing small business 10 times the favor than you could ever do by just showing up at the small business. Because if people can't order from Amazon, it's gonna you only have to do this for 3 weeks. After that, people are like, "Fuck this crap! I'm gonna go to the local store. They have the stuff."
That's why I have a problem with this America First crew running around on their bus tour. I don't like most of them anyway. They're a bunch of idiots who are out there just trying to make money.
They're just bandwagon people.
Yep.
Even the Trump supporters don't want them at their rallies. Last weekend I discussed the whole Black Pete thing, where there was a specific protest group who wouldn't abide to protesting rules. They wouldn't say where they were going to protest. They wouldn't get the designated areas secured, whatnot. So what did they do? They were just basically driving around. Oh, we're going to go to this town. Oh, wait, the cops are blocking us. Why are they blocking us? Because they're known as bandwagon protesters, and they're going to cause problems.
Yep, they're there just to stir up trouble. Now, if they were an actual legitimate group, they would be calling people to do what I'm telling people to do. Go to the big box store, get 1,000 people to show up and say, look, if you're going to allow Walmart to open, we're going to block these entrances until you allow small businesses to open back up. And we won't stop coming, but they're not going to do that because there's no money to be made doing that.
Yeah, but basically weld up the security gate.
Yep.
Do crap like that.
It doesn't make for good content for the America First crew.
Who cares about content? We're talking about a living.
Exactly.
This isn't some YouTube show. This is your bread and butter you're dealing with. And when people come to you and touch your bread and butter, you're going to have to do something. And the least violent you can do it, the better. But be smart about it. And like I said, put some Amazon trucks on blocks and get their wheels.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to take the wheels. Stack them up a street over. That's all you got to do. Because that's going to delay all those deliveries. And if that happens often enough, Amazon is going to have a problem because they're going to see a whole slew of refunds. Because people will be going to local businesses instead.
Kitty B says baked can guard the McDonald's if he doesn't eat it first. Oh.
So we're going to get some music going since dancing is the big fear. And
They did ban dancing in New York, by the way. They were talking about banning it here in Idaho as well.
I'm not going to come around and make sure.
But that's the whole thing. Show your support for these people. Show your support for local businesses. If the local businesses ask you $5 more, what's $5 more when if Amazon owns basically the production line? Guess what's going to happen? Amazon is going to raise the price because they have no longer any competitors. That's why
right.
Amazon always price gouges.
That's right. They lower their prices so that they knock everybody out.
Yeah, and once they have a monopoly, they have no obligation to price gouge anymore. They're just going to come with flimsy explanations. Well, we're going to have to pay our employees more. Yeah, sure, your employee, you're going to pay them 50 cents off the dollar. But the price range is going to go up $20. You know?
Yep. Right now we're at 40%, give or take a percent, of New York small businesses gone forever. Same thing with New Jersey, and I would imagine it's going the same for California and Michigan as well. If you want to protest, this is the way to do it. These people just showed you how to get it done because they at least stopped this vote. Even if it's only temporary, they at least got people out there and stopped it.
And to comment on Rod, do you know where I got the whole idea of take the tires off and weld the gate shut? We had in 2002 we had protests because our president-elect got assassinated back then. Guess what the protesters did? They welded all the police gates shut. They took the tires off. It took the cops half a day to even assemble and organize. That's how you get shit done. I wouldn't do that with the cops, as well. Tampering with a police vehicle might get you shot in America. So
yeah, probably.
But Amazon vehicles, they are perfectly DHL vehicles. They're fair game, and all you got to do is leave the truck alone. Grab the trailers. Because you don't want to hurt the truckers. All you want to do is hurt the business.
So you're standing 6 feet apart from your friend.
It's the only time COVID spreads.
Because the fact is, we will not comply. We will not comply.
We will not comply. We will not comply. We will not comply. We will not comply.
The cops were worried about maintaining order. I don't see a problem. If I was a cop at this thing, I would not be worried whatsoever about these people.
No, the problem is the city officials told the cops disband this group, and the cops simply told them we're not equipped to do that. We got 5 police cars. There are hundreds of people around here. That's not going to work. It's like how we currently in the Netherlands. We have banned fireworks since the 13th of November. So since the 14th of November, we've been firing fireworks. We've been importing fireworks en masse from Belgium, Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia. Any country that supplies fireworks, we're getting it. And we're lighting it. There isn't enough cops to arrest all of us.
No. That's the point.
And that's how you do a protest. When you're outnumbered the law enforcement leaves you alone.
If enough people show up to block Walmart on Commercial Drive and Best Buy's entrance so that nobody can get into all those big box stores, because it's called Commercial Drive. Every store is in this one block, just about every store, and there's only one way in and out. 1,000 people show up and block that entrance, the cops aren't going to arrest 1,000 people.
No, because the minute they're starting to arrest people, people are going to act, and then violence happens, and then you have an angry mob of 1,000 people. You don't want that on your neck. They don't have, even they don't see the use in that. And that's, cops work from their think of their pension, their police union, and the city. They don't think about you. But the minute you outnumber them, they start thinking about you.
Exactly.
Masks don't protect you. It's muzzling. They want you to shut up and do what you're told.
Oh, here we go with the... It's likely hospitals will need to start rationing care within a month if you don't comply. They had to throw this into the video.
Yeah, no offense, but over here in the Netherlands, we canceled Christmas, we canceled New Year's, and the COVID deaths have dropped to such a point where elective surgery is booming again. And let's be honest, elective surgery over here in the Netherlands has been dead since February. There are now, basically, we only use 3% of our IC units. So, and over here they claim, oh, we're going to have to gear up again. Gear up for what?
Yeah. Just like in Australia, what's going on there. You know, it's big news when they have 2 cases in Sydney. It's like that city's got million plus people in it, and it's a big story. Breaking news.
Well, the biggest irony is over here in the Netherlands, we're one of the densest populated areas. If COVID was that devastating, the Netherlands would have been wiped out.
Yep.
And it's not happening, so.
It's not happening here either. The
meeting does stand adjourned, and
there's only so much people are going to accept and take after a while.
Simple question. Idaho, that state that has like 40, 50 million people?
Yeah, it's a very small population.
Yeah, but you're talking about 1,000 deaths on 40, 50 million people.
And quite frankly, all of those deaths are not COVID deaths. We're finding that out more and more. Everything seems to get lumped into COVID now.
Well, the whole thing is, if a hospital reports a COVID death, they get emergency funding.
Yep.
So it's financially incentive for a hospital to claim they have COVID numbers, even though they have zero COVID numbers.
Yep, $30,000 plus they get for each COVID death. Something like $33,000. I mean, yeah, there's no incentive there to report everything as a COVID death. Even the CDC is having a hard time trying to explain why the flu doesn't exist anymore.
Well, that's my major problem with the whole COVID thing. The way I look at it is basically I could be wrong, but it looks more like they found the genome that's in every flu type there is. The corresponding genome. And that's basically the COVID test.
Mm-hmm.
Because they keep cycling those tests until they get a positive, and that's the main problem. You can only cycle 25 to 30 times, and they cycle between 90 and 100 times. So anything is positive.
That's right. In fact, I saw, and I got to find that article, a doctor spoke about the COVID test. Actually, I think he's the one who basically invented the mRNA test, and that said, he came out and said apparently that Fauci is a complete idiot. That everything is being called COVID when it's not, and it's a problem.
Well, Fauci is one of those Neil deGrasse Tysons. They are TV personalities. They are not real doctors.
No. Nope.
And that's where the problem lies. They're sensationalists, and they'll do anything that keeps their job running. And if Neil deGrasse Tyson gets a $1 million bump in views, a $10 million bump in money if he claims there's an asteroids heading straight for us, guess what?
All right, we're working on a
Neil deGrasse Tyson
2008.
is going to do? He's going to there's a meteorite coming for us because that's financially viable for him.
Yes. Yep. That's why he is going to be, if Biden's installed, your TV doctor for the next 4 years, apparently. we got like a half hour left, Victor. Why don't we do some fun stuff and end it off on a happy note? So I do have one article. If you've got anything, send it over to me. But I got an article that the Big MT posted, it's not really an article, but it's a post. Major Tom on D Live. Make sure you follow Major Tom, the Big MT. It shows at 10 o'clock Eastern on Saturday night. Belgium health minister puts ban on non-essential sexual activities of persons 3 or greater in indoor areas. Belgium health minister Maggie de Block has put a ban on all non-essential sexual activities of persons 3 or greater in indoor areas. And she's the health minister. What do you think about that?
Well, the reason why she did that was because was it an Austrian or Bulgarian, basically an anti-gay advocate, had a gay orgy, and when the cops raided the place, he jumped out of the window and died. I think that's pretty much the reason why this ban had to be used.
He died?
Yeah, but I gotta Google that one, because it's an absurd one, because he was a fervent anti-gay person, and he got caught in a gay orgy. And when the cops raided the place, because, well, let's be honest, COVID numbers, you can't gather more than 3 people in one room, so he decided to take the easy way out.
So the anti-gay politician was caught at a gay orgy, and now they have to come up with a rule that says you can't have more than 3 people, so no more orgies in Belgium. No more gay orgies either. Interesting. But you can have a threesome. At least you can have a threesome in Belgium still. Still there, Victor?
Oh, crap. Yeah, I'm still there. I just pressed the wrong button. But yeah, an anti-gay Hungarian politician has resigned after being caught by the police fleeing a 25-man orgy through a window. That's kind of the reason why Belgium decided to do a ban, I think. I'll drop it in your Twitter DMs.
So he did get killed. He died.
No, he didn't die.
Oh,
he
okay.
jumped out of a window. The reason why I thought he died is because they they showed a high-rise building, and I was like, if he jumped out a window out of there, he's not going to make that.
An Business Insider had this too. An anti-gay Hungarian politician has resigned after being caught by the police fleeing a 25-man orgy. So now...
Yeah, he was so fervently anti-gay that he had to confirm it with 25 men in an orgy.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was anti-gay, so I attended the gay orgy. Yeah, okay. Oh, that is funny. He went full bore. Warren Gordon, well, at least he didn't lightly dabble in homosexuality. No, he didn't. He threw the gauntlet down, went for it all. So tomorrow night, don't forget, folks, is Boogie Bumper's birthday bash. So I know you've got something good planned for your video for Boogie tomorrow night, Victor.
Well, yes, someone came through for me, so that's gonna be fun. That's all I'm gonna have to say about it, because otherwise I'd spoil it.
All right, we're working on.
I've got a video. Of course, it's an Asian singing a song that's not very good.
I can't show you my plan B though. I can give you that one. And that Plan B one is something. It's not for the faint of hearted, especially the beginning of it, but the fun comes at the end. It's a 4-minute music video. I DM'd you that one. Happy birthday from Germany.
Oh no! The German ones. You always come up with the good stuff here, Victor. Let me see what you got.
Germany has the most fun ones. For everyone in the audience, this was my Plan B.
Hi kids! Hello! And welcome to Teddy World! In Teddy World, it's always someone's birthday. Right, Teddy? Right! And today, we know a secret, don't we, Teddies? Yes, we do! Today, it's your birthday! Yay! Woo! And as a special treat for you, we have been traveling, haven't we, Teddies? That's right. We have been traveling all over the world to look for special birthday songs for you. And we're going to look at the first one now. The first one is from a country called Germany. Here it is.
Holy cow.
But yeah, that was my Plan B.
Plan A's got to be a good one.
Yeah, that one is a really good one. It fits way more with the celebration style instead of this very dark German song.
Yeah, it was pretty dark. Apparently, Boogie's going to be giving away some merchandise too. That should be interesting.
Yeah, he's giving away an Ian Glass art object. We're not sure what type of object. We know it goes into orifices, and since the butt plug and the dildo have been a thing, I'm kind of curious what the third one is going to be.
Let's see what I went over to Kitty's list. Let's see what Kitty's got.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
DJ, that's nice. I tell you where it's from. China. That's from where Corona comes. One side arrive on Tuesday. It grew over here on a bad song Tuesday. I put it.
What's that?
Ruckus World is great. The dude is a master at making videos.
Then stir fry, give it to the gas. I saw it on Nike, I cook it in the mess. I wash it in dry clean, give it to mall cop. No one suspect me cause I had small cock. They scared, it's bad. Coronavirus is in good. They mad. 45 minutes, I wait here, no I get eat chopsticks. I sorry but I have it and you have it, or you ate it when I made it in chicken and celery. I guess you should've ordered some Mickey D's reason. I had Coro. Na 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 na. You hack a roll, na 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 na, and we hack a roll, na 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 na. Everybody hack a roll, na 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 na. Serena hack a roll, na 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 na. Justin hack a roll, na 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 na. Hayward hack a roll, na 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 na. Jesus hack a roll, na 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 na. Corona, in California we got a drone now. They have Corona. Every shitty wall that we build get knocked down by Mongolian. Airport. Check if he brack. He could be a roadman wearing mask. In fact, keep an eye on the Brack IP. Could be BTS with a fake IP. And the Cosby's could have Corona. Take his clothes off. Could be Kim Jong in disguise. Throw rice from the plane. To tariff Obama's reary Asian. They brag. They could have Corona. Because they're reary Arab, which also means Asian. Could be wearing fake face, which means they're Brack, but they traded their race. I got another Chinese Obama, so they all got Ebola, and black people are Chinese men. Corona's not a Mexican alcohol, it's all of Africans. I hack a roll, na 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 na. You hack a roll, na 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 na. Obama hack a roll, na 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 na. Kanye hack a roll, na 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 na. Rick Bear hack a roll, na 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 na. Tupac hack a roll, na 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 na. Lee Harvey hack a roll, na 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 na. Magic Johnson hack a roll, na 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 na. And Timothy, Freddie, Dominica, Nigga, Higa, Harry Bora, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Karl Malone have Corona. Chinese dry cleaning in Arizona have Corona. Every shitty wall that we build get knocked down. Rona, rah, rah. You hack a roll. Na, 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 na. Ken Jong hack a roll. Na, 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 na. Dan Cho hack a roll. Na, 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 Mr. Miyagi hack a roll. Na, 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 na. Bruce Lee hack a roll. Na, 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 na. Bruce Lee hack a roll. Na, 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 na. Bob Schneider hack a roll. Na, 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 na. Tiger Woods hack a roll. Na, 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 na. Andy Bora. Na, 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 na. I had some Corona. Na, 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 na. We all had Corona. Na, 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 na. We need a big sauna. Na, 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 na. And some Asian donut. Na, 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 na. Tommy had Corona. Na, 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 na.
Tupac too. I didn't know he was sick.
Jack has Ebola. Trini had Corona. Wait, no, she Asian, so that means she Riri Brack. No, if she Riri Brack, then that means she Riri Asian. No, if she Asian, then she Brack. Then she Riri Asian again because she was Brack before she was Asian. Then she was Brack because she was
That was pretty good.
I dropped one in your Twitter DMs to sing us out in out for you, Boogie.
Oh, an outro for Boogie.
Yeah, I dropped that one on Boogie a couple weeks, months. I don't know. It's been a while since I dropped that on him.
Let's see. I'm gonna try to find one more from Kitty, and then we'll do the spiel, and then we'll do the outro that you just dropped me. Tomorrow night should be fun. It should be interesting to hear all of those streamers trying to talk over each other at the same time.
Oh no, we're professionals. Well, we know how to take our turns.
I don't know. Kimmy Y Censor's going to be on there, so she might be her talking the whole show. I love Kimmy. She'll be fine. Oh, Kitty will be on too, I think. I thought I saw Kitty B's name in there.
Yeah, I believe Kitty is invited as well. I don't know if she's going to show up, but she's able to, so. She's going to be she's going to be on at some point. So.
No, I hope so. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Interested in the videos that people will be dropping, especially the videos from Kimmy and yourself, Victor, and Kitty.
Well, I if you want to have my the introduction of my video, you basically have to show the introduction of Asterix and Obelix, if you know that cartoon. But that's basically that town in a nutshell.
Let's see. I'm trying to find one from our list. I haven't watched any of them, so.
And I can still showcase worse towns than that town, but that town is currently the most prolific in the whole firework protesting.
Oh, she's got a Christmas video. What the hell? We might as well play this one. She's got a few of them here, but let me play this one. Let's see. Looks like it's got a midget in it.
No, that's not me. It's Frank Zappa. Take our New Year's Eve, I dropped a little barely 3-minute video of how we celebrated 2019's New Year's. You don't need to understand Dutch about what's going on.
Let's check that one out, Victor. Let's see what it is.
If you need to know context, I'll give you context, but just watch it and you'll be like, okay, yeah, I can see how New Year's is important.
It starts with bizarre, right?
It's the last one I dropped in. Yeah, bizarre vonkenregen door huishoog vuurwerk. It's basically we have bonfires, and unlike you American people who have bonfires, ours are skyscraper-style bonfires.
Holy cow! Oh
and
wow!
That year, sadly, the wind was turning the wrong point.
It looks like the light poles are melting. Here we go.
Yeah.
Het regende gewoon letterlijk
This is what we Dutch call a
vuur uit de
bonfire,
lucht.
people.
En het was best heftig. Iedereen liep onder dekens.
Holy
en
shit!
er
It's
was zelfs
raining
een kindje
fire.
bij.
Het ziet er bizar uit. In flink wat straten in Scheveningen regende het gisteren vuur. De vonken komen van de vuurstapel. op
It's
het strand.
raining fire.
De kinderen waren er aan het kijken.
Toen barstte het opeens los. En toen vielen er een heleboel stukken naar beneden. De wind waaide zo hard helemaal naar de huizen. En dat de vuur gewoon hier kwam naar de huizen.
Ja, op het strand toen we daar stonden, we zagen ook allemaal zo'n heel goed plek maken waar dat het niet
Even
heel raakt
fire
en zo.
tornadoes
Ja.
were a thing.
En wij waren ook gewoon toen waar ze naar huis.
Fire tornadoes.
Hier ging het gisteren dus goed mis. Door de
gigantic
harde
pillar was
wind kwamen er
about
heel veel
20,
vonken van de
150 feet
brandstapel
tall.
af. En dat kwam allemaal hier neer. En dat kun je zien aan de
Holy
straat. Grote
shit.
delen zijn zwart.
How the hell do you make it that tall?
Oh, we use construction cranes and
Weggezwakt.
diesel barrels and pallets.
Een beetje...
Oh, look at that. Melted bicycles.
Ja, ze zijn aan het opruimen en ook daar bij de boulevard is ook...
Oh, and Bradley, in case you're wondering, we did a reconstruction in 3D on how this went wrong.
Maar dichter bij het strand is dat wel anders. De burgemeester gaat er vandaag...
So they did it again?
Oh no, you need to understand, this wasn't just one bonfire. This is a tradition. We do 8 different bonfires across the nation. The size of that. The problem is these people went a bit too exacerbate with they added too much wood to the fire basically, and sadly they didn't pay attention to the wind direction, so half the town got torched.
Holy cow, people's roofs caught on fire and cars got melted.
Yeah, the thing is, the timber that was on top of the tower, because instead of catching the fire from the top and then going down, the fire catch from the bottom. So everything that was on fire got blown up in the wind and landed on people's roofs and cars and bicycles and whatnot.
Holy cow, look at the damage.
But yeah, they banned it for after 2019. So any cop car that would come around to check on the neighbors' kids, because as a protest they lit fireworks throughout the year. Those police cars got bombed by firework bombs, and I showed it on my stream one time, where you have a night vision camera on a police car and you see the bomb going under it, and it's basically Baghdad, because that explosion blew half the car apart. These officers were fine with minor hearing damages, but that's basically how serious we take our fireworks and New Year's. We tend to invest in things.
It looks like you're renting cranes to put together a bonfire, I would say so.
Hold on, let me grab it real quick. We have that crane.
We're almost ready to wrap up here while Victor grabs a picture of that crane. Don't forget, tomorrow night, the Boogie Bumper Show, the birthday bash with all the streamers on and a lot of fun. It sounds like it's going to be a fun show. Don't forget tonight, I think Joya Pesci is on tonight, no Saturday show. Kimmy Y Censored, our Minister of Fun, Kimmy, usually about 10:30, 11 tonight. We'll be on Saturday night, 8 o'clock, as usual, into the Speakeasy with Promises Kept. Don't forget about t-shirt contests. We only need 17 more, I think, to give away those 2 t-shirts on the Wheel of Death.
Hold on. 16 we need now.
Oh, 16. Excellent.
We're gaining followers.
Excellent.
And for that video, 10 minute 37, then you'll see how we built that thing.
10
and mind
minute.
you, we built 8 of those across the country.
Holy shit. 10 minutes. What was that? 10 minutes?
10 minute 37.
10:37. Here we go. Holy shit!
Yeah, we know how to celebrate New Year's.
That is a lot. Look at all the pellets they still have on the ground they're trying to put on there.
Yeah, that dang thing got a little bit too high and too wide for the fire department to call it safe. But this is a New Year's tradition for the Dutch.
That thing is huge.
The reason why we build those things is so we Dutch don't torch our own towns, because we get bored. So we get a huge fire to look at instead of making fires to look at.
Man, that thing is massive, and they still got like piles and piles of pellets they're still putting on that thing.
And the main problem is we also put diesel fuel barrels in that tower, and where they were placed, they basically caught fire and blew the thing up, and which put the entire thing into a blaze instead of being a candle. And that's kind of where all the pellets went flying through the sky into the town.
And that thing probably burned for a long time because that's all hardwood, too. That's what pellets are made out of.
That thing doesn't stop burning until the next day.
That's all, like, oak.
Same thing with our Easter fires. In fire won't end until the next day.
All of those pallets are all hardwood, too, like scrap hardwood from the lumberyard that they really can't use.
Yeah. Well, basically, all the businesses donate their pallets. And this is a volunteer organization where the entire town chips in on renting the whole excavators, the forklifts. Businesses will donate their forklift drivers and forklifts and whatnot, just to build the whole thing. And, well, yeah, this time the wind direction was wrong.
I gotta go back a little bit because it looks like there's firefighters standing there laughing and smiling at the thing.
Well, you need to understand, we have permits for this. And the fire department is in on this. They'll tell you, okay, guys, you can do this over here, not over there. Pay attention to the wind direction. The problem was they got a bit too many pallets donated, and they got a bit too enthusiastic. So the thing got bigger than the permit allowed.
I would say so. Wow, this thing is just massive. I can't believe how big this thing is. I know when we've had bonfires with pallets, I mean, they get hot, number one, and then they last forever. Holy cow, they're just...
Well, yeah, because once the wood is burned, it's a heap of coal.
How long does it take to build that?
It takes a month or so to build that up.
Jesus, you know how high up these guys are? The people down below look like ants.
Yeah, but that's the entire thing. We Dutch know how to party.
You're not kidding. Holy cow. That's pretty wild. Look at that thing. They did it right on the beach, though.
Yeah, we have 8 of those all across the coastline.
How close can you get to that thing before it's just too hot for you to be near it?
You see the concrete palisade in the top left corner.
Yep.
If you stand behind it, you're not having a fun time.
Why is it still hot that far away?
Yeah. Because this is an entire pyre of fire. And this tower, due to the wind directions going around the tower, it also creates fire tornadoes, and they'll go all the way up to the concrete palisade. You don't want to be there. The direction for the people is all the way behind there on the parking lot where you see the cars. That's where the people are supposed to be.
Yeah, wow. Holy cow. That's got to be wild. Well, guys, we come to the end of another night, and I think no Irrational Times tonight, but Irrational Times tomorrow night after the Boogie Birthday Bash spectacular. And
he's probably gonna show up on Boogies, I think.
oh, IT, yeah, I would hope so. Especially since that song is played on Boogie's show.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The very talented Irrational Times. I'm sure he'll have something cool and fun to bring too. Cool and fun. All right, guys, we're gonna finish up with a song. Where did I do with it? Oh, there it is. To honor Boogie's birthday bash tomorrow night. Boogie Bam Dance, German stage. This is for Victor. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna. Oh wait, maybe I should open the chest first before I do that because I can't get to that screen.
And great for having me on. Glad everyone showed up for the show, and also thank you for the additional follower. We're 16 away, guys. Keep on following. Spread the news.
And whenever we get that 500th, we'll do the T-shirt contest. We'll make sure we get Victor on and everybody else on. And we'll figure out how to do it. I'll find out how the Wheel of Death is going to run. We'll probably do it just like Boogie does it. Get the names on the wheel and then run them. So I threw some lemons in that chest, and thank you again, Victor. Awesome night. That went by quick, didn't it?
Well, yeah, time flies by when you have fun.
Yes. All right, guys, we'll close it out with this song, and congratulations to whoever won. I didn't even look. Thank you, Monica. Boogie Bam Bam. Boogie Bam Dance. Boogie Bam. And good night, everybody. We'll see you Saturday night. Victor and I will see you next Thursday.
Good night, everyone, and have fun with politics.
Thank you.
Sure do.
Yeah. Who knows what'll come tomorrow?
Well, that sounds great. Nothing ever bad comes from being put on a list by government. They're doing it to keep me safe. They're protecting me. Thank you for keeping the day.
But why are you farming for coins when you have a heavy bag?
Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
Thank you for keeping the day. The cherry pop.
Oh my gosh, he's on every freaking program there is.
Thank you for keeping the day.
Just for you, Monica.
But why are you farming for coins when you have a heavy bag?